Good morning. Today we are going to see Unix session 3. In the previous topic, we have studied what is a shell, shell scripting, types of shell, how to write the first script, and Unix file system, and types of users. In today's topic, we'll study basic commands of Unix Linux. Some of the commands you already studied in your previous semester. So, these commands are needed to write the shell scripting. So let us study. So first we'll start with how to create the directories and files. So to create directories and files, to create the directories you use the command mkdir. So in this example you can see using mkdir you have created here 3 directories. So using this mkdir we can create at a time more than one directory. So we have created here directory A, B and C. So it will create empty directories. Now next, if you want to change the directories, if you want to move from one directory to another directory, you can use the command cd. In the example you can see here cd and the directory name in which directory you want to move. Similarly, next, if you want to come out of the directory, you can use the command cd ... If you want to come out of more than one directories at a time, then you can use cd ... To create the files. So there are two ways to create the files, touch command and cat command. So using this touch command you can create empty files. So in the example you can see we have used here touch command and we have created here 3 files, file 1, file 2 and file 3. So 3 empty files have been created here. And another command you can use to create the file, that is cat. In detail about the cat we'll see in the further topic. So next command we'll see, that is ls command. So ls command is nothing but file listing. If you want the details about files, all the files which are present in one particular directory, then you can use ls command. So on the terminal you can type ls command and here you can see the result. It is showing various files and directories. So these are the directories and these are the various files. So in a particular folder, in a particular directory, whichever the files and directories are available, it will show all those. And you can type this on terminal. You can type this on terminal, these commands, or you can type on VI editor. So there are two ways to use this command, either on the terminal or either on the VI editors. Now let us see the ls command with various options. So ls command can be used with various options like ls-l, ls-a, ls-ls, ls-f and r. So first option, we can use ls command with -l. So you can see here, if you want the information about the files in a detail, then you can use this ls-l. You can type here. So what information this will show? It will show the information like which are the files or the directories. You can find out here. What is the size of that particular directory or file? When that file was last modified, it will show the date and time. The file name and the folder name it will show. And who is the owner of that file? Which user has created that file? And what is the permission of that file? Who all can access that file? So these all information you can find out here. So you can see here the first column. This first column is about file permission, So from this column you'll understand what is the file permission of this. The first character here you can see it is a file type. So here hyphen it is, and in some of the places you can see here first character is D. So wherever there is a hyphen, So you need to understand it is a file, and wherever there is the first character is D, you need to understand this is a directory. So the first column indicates file type, whether it is a normal file type. If you see hyphen, it is a normal file type. If you see D, it is a directory. So these all are files and these all are directories. From the first character you can identify that. Next we can see the file permissions has been grouped up here. So this is the first group, 3 characters. So R is nothing but read, write. This is the second group and this is the third group. So this file permissions is divided into 3 groups. This first group is for user, the second group is for group members, and this third group is for others. So the users can read and write the files, whereas the other group members can only read the files, as well as the other users can also only read the file. So the person who has created this file can read and write both, but the group members who has access to these files, these members can only read, whereas other users who does not belong to that group, even they can only read it. So like this way you are going to understand from this file permissions. Even here you can see this other file also, that is index.html. This file is also the user who has created, he has only read and write permission, and other group members read permission, and other users also only read permission. So next column is of number of links. So this file is associated with how many number of links, that you can understand from here. The next column is of groups. This is that which user has created, the name of the user who has created this file. And next column is what is the size of that file, that is the bytes it will show. So from here you can understand this is the size of that file. And next is when was the last date and time modified this file, modified date and time it will show here. And last column is the file name or the directory name it will show. So let us see this. So display all information about files or directories using ls-l. The first character we have seen is file type, that is hyphen or D we have seen. From this we will understand whether it is a file or directory. So hyphen indicates normal file, D indicates directory. If there is a yes, you need to understand this is a socket file. If there is a L or this symbol at, you need to understand it is a link file. If there is a star symbol, then these are executable files. So this all you can understand from the first character and file type. So we have seen file permissions. So it is categorized into three groups. So indicates R and W indicates read and write. So first permission is for user, second permission is for group, and next permission is for others. So from this you can understand the user has only read and write, and the group member has only reading permission and no permission for other groups. So second field indicates number of links, specifies the number of links for that file. Third field we have seen owner, who has created that file. Next field is group, is for which group that user belongs, that owner belongs, that name. Fifth field we have seen the size of the file. And sixth field we have seen last modified date and time. And the last field we have seen the name of the file. So these all details you can find out here. In this you can see all details. Next we'll see how to view hidden files using ls command. So to view hidden files using ls command, we type ls-a. So it will show hidden files. So how to recognize the hidden files? With dot. So wherever you see dot, these are the hidden files. Now it is showing. So these all are hidden files. Next option we'll see sort files by file size. Now if you want to see the files with the highest file size, that will be displayed on the top. So how you are going to type? On the terminal you are going to type ls command with -ls in capital letters, and these all details you can see. So the file size with highest you can see at the top, and the remaining file size you can see at the below bottom. So like this way you can sort files by file size. Next, if you want to recognize exactly which are the directories, then you can use -f. That is, each directory will end with / character. So like this way you are going to recognize the directories. So on the terminal you are going to type, or on the VI editor you are going to type ls-f. So you can see which are the directories here in the result. This is the directory, this is one, music. So these all are directories, and remaining all are files. List files in reverse order. Now if you want to see the files in a reverse order, it will display the files in a alphabetical reverse order. So on the terminal you are going to type ls-r, and in the alphabetical reverse order you can see the files and directories both. Next command we'll see cat command, and this is very important command of the Unix Linux environment. So using cat command we can do many tasks. It will allow you to create single or multiple files. You can create single as well as multiple files. It will allow you to view the contents of a file. It will allow you to concatenate two files, that is to join two files contents. It will allow you to redirect output in terminals or files, and it also allows you to display all files contents to a screen. So how to use this cat command? See the syntax. So you are going to type cat command and the file name. Next, you can use the cat command, and this operator we call it as output redirection. That operator we call it as output redirection and the file name. So this output redirection operator is specifically used if you want to redirect the standard output on a file or on a device or on a screen. So where you want to send that output? You want to send that output to a file, a device or a screen. For that purpose we use this output standard redirection operator. You can use cat commands with various options also, and the file name. So let us see the examples. First example, to create a new file. You can see if you want to create a new file, type cat command, redirection or output operator and the file name. So when you type this, it will prompt you for writing the contents of the file. Then you are going to write the contents of the file. Then after writing the contents of the file, you need to save this file. So how you are going to save this file? You are going to use Ctrl plus D. So after writing the contents of the file, you are going to press Ctrl and plus D. Then it will save the file and it will come out of the file. So save and comes out of the file. So second example, you can see how to display the contents of the file using cat command. So just type cat and the file name which you want to display the contents. So it will show the contents of the file. Next example, how to copy the contents of one file into another using cat command. Just type cat command file2. You are going to use here redirection output operator and file1. So the contents of file2 will be copied to the file1. So if there are already the contents in file1, these all contents of file1 will be erased, and whatever the contents are there in file2 will be copied to file1. Next example, how to concatenate two files and save to another file using cat command. So let us see. Now you are going to type cat sample. This is first file and these are the contents of that file. This is the second file and these are the contents of that file. Now see, you use your cat command. This is the first file, this is the second file, and the contents of file 1 and the contents of file 2, you are sending it to file 3. So more than one file contains, you are sending it to some file, another file. So this is my first sample text file and this is my second sample text file. This both will be sent to sample3.txt. If the sample3.txt is already some contents are there in that, it will overwrite it with a new text. Next, display contents of all text files. So you can use this command, cat command, then space type star.txt. Next example, display the contents of a file with line number. Okay. Now see, whatever the contents here written, you want the line numbers for that, like line number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can use the option cat command space -n space and file1.txt. Next, to append the contents of one file to another file. Now if you don't want to erase the contents, now you want to copy the contents of file 1 to file 2, but you don't want to erase the contents of file 2, sample2.txt. if you don't want to erase, then in between you are going to use double redirection operator, double output redirection operator. So it will append the contents of file 1 at the end of file 2. So it will attach the contents of file 1 at the end of file 2. Now these are the contents of file 1. Okay, then at the end it will attach the contents of, now these are the contents of file 2. At the end it will attach the contents of file 1. And in the previous contents will be not erased here, will be not overwritten if you use here double output redirection operator. Next example, only non-empty lines to be numbered. Now these are the contents of a file player.txt. See, cat -b and player.txt. So these are the contents of the file player.txt. Okay. Now in between here use the option -b. So if you use the -b, it will give the line numbers to the contents, but wherever there is a blank, it will not consider that. Okay, where there are contents, only for that line it will give the numbers. But if you use here -n, it will give the line numbers also for the blank spaces. It will consider, now here blank spaces are there, it will give the line numbers for also blank spaces. You can see here if you use -n here. If you don't use -n, if you use -b, then it will not consider this. Next command we'll see man command. So if you want any help on any command, if you did not understand any of the command, or if you want the details about the commands and which options you can use with that command, then you can take the help of man command. So man command helps you to find out any information on any command. So it stands for manual, which is a reference book of Linux operating system. It is similar to help file found in popular software. To get help on any command that you do not understand, you can type man command there. The terminal would then open the manual page for that command. So example of this man command you can see. See here, when you type the man command on the terminal, it will show the information like, suppose if you type there man printf, then it will give all the details about printf command. You can see here printf is used for format and printing data. Then with printf, what all arguments, what all options you can use, it is going to show you information and all details about that. Similarly, another option you can see here, ls, list directory contents, and various option you can see here below all. So this is how the man command helps if you want any information on man command and which options you can use with that man ls command or any other command. You can take the help of man command. So we have studied some of the basic command today. In the next session we'll see some more commands. Thank you.